My name is Steve Kress, and I am the CEO and founder of CressCap Investment Research. First, I'd like to thank Empire Startups for inviting us tonight. This is a wonderful event, and I truly appreciate the opportunity. I will start with a little bit of a bio on myself. I've been in the investment world for about 30 years. I think I'm pretty seasoned when I look around the audience here. I spent the majority of my career at Morgan Stanley, where I was a prop trader. And prior to starting CressCap Investment Research, I ran a hedge fund. About a year ago, I decided to shut the hedge fund down as I was starting up this project, and I wanted to focus on this full time. And I think what is you will find really incredible about this investment research platform is within our technology. In the world of investment research, it's actually quite antiquated compared to the rest of FinTech. We have seen a lot of blockchain, we've seen Bitcoin, we've seen robo-advisors, but for some reason in the world of investment research, it hasn't changed for the better part of 50 years. And the way investment research is conducted is you typically will have an analyst, and if you took a fair amount of the analysts, there's actually about 6,000 analysts that work at the top 11 banks, and they produce investment research. It's a fairly big spend on investment research. It's a $16 billion industry, and those analysts get paid a lot of money to produce research. And what we have done at CressCap is actually to automate the role of a financial analyst. So we do not have 6,000 analysts working at CressCap. We really have a computer-driven process, and within that process, we publish every day about 10,000 research reports. That's more research than the top 5 investment banks combined. So it's quite a powerful tool. There really is not any firm that I know of that can produce institutional quality research that's refreshed every single day. And considering that I hate public speaking, what I'm going to do is just get right into the demo so I don't have to speak anymore. I'll just sort of show you the way through. This is our site. And what I'm going to do is just show you really briefly our menu bar over here. We provide investment research for equities. We provide asset allocation, currencies in the world of FX, commodities, countries and industries, economic indicators, fixed income being sovereign bonds, US corporate bonds, European corporate bonds, and we also provide macro research as well. Our core strength, as I referred to earlier, is providing research on equities. You can choose a region, the US, Europe, emerging markets, China. It really, for the most part, is a full-service investment platform with absolutely no analysts, except a very strong computer process. If you are interested in US research, and typically when people conduct research, they'll look for a specific sector. So you could go to consumer discretionary or staples or energy or healthcare, or you could perhaps want a specific style. You could be a Warren Buffett style and like value, or you could be a high-tech style and like growth, and you would just click on any of these segments and it would bring up the research. So if you were a Warren Buffett style, you would simply click here, and what we're going to do is basically every single day we run through 30,000 stocks across the world. We crunch the data on those stocks, and we go through the balance sheets, we go through the cash flow statements, we go through all the financial metrics, and then really within nanoseconds, when you add it up for all the stocks, we're able to publish our research. And what we show here is for the value stocks. If you were Warren Buffett, instead of pouring months and months into research, within a few seconds, we'll list our favorite value stocks. And actually, Intel has been there for a while. They just reported stellar earnings. And as you can see, in the last month alone, the stock is up 19%. Over the last 6 months, it's up about 25%. And you can actually look across the board on a number of these stocks that we have as value names. You can see the performance has been really good. When you want to take a deeper dive into this, and just sort of on a helicopter view, we provide an overall grade for the company. And then we take a little bit more of a granular look, and you can look at the value grade. Intel, relative to its peer group, scores an A for value. Growth, it's a little bit on the slower side. It's about the middle of the pack with a C minus. But companies coming along, like I said, they just had stellar EPS numbers, and they get an A+ for analysts taking up revisions on the company. very strong with respect to profitability, and the momentum has been strong as well. So these are sort of the core factors that professional investors look at. And I should mention our target market is professional investors. We're looking at money managers and registered investment advisors. Any investor, whether they're a professional investor or even a retail investor, would typically want to look at value or growth to assess a company. But what's really important is that you do it on a peer-to-peer basis. So when you look at these grades, you know how a company compares to the peers. All right, so you decide that you like a stock, and what you do is you just click on it, and you have a 20-page research report that is published right here. Now, what I should mention about research and being antiquated, typically an analyst on Wall Street will only write a research report maybe 4 to 6 times a year. It's a very lengthy process where you have to pull your balance sheet information together, your cash flow, you have to compare it against all the peer companies, and you have to write that up. So we've taken that process and we automate it, and we actually write our research every single day. So all the grades that you're looking at here are refreshed every single day. When we look at the highlights, typically an analyst will have comments on it. Our highlights are driven by computer intelligence, really bordering on artificial intelligence. This is a core area where we're focusing on. This is really version 1 for us. We're in our beta now. We'll be rolling the product out in the first quarter, but we'll continually focus on bringing cognitive intelligence and artificial intelligence into our research reports, basically to put us at the forefront of the rest of the industry. We're there now, and our intent is to stay there. So I'll show you this report's a little bit interactive, but when you look at the company from a quant basis, and we use systematic trading models to assess where the stocks are, we can see that this stock ranks number 15 out of a total of 2,000 in the US that we're looking at. And within the sector, the stock ranks number 3 out of 367. The overall grade of the company is an A+. And this is, in essence, how it works. We're looking at companies, we're ranking it compared to the peer group and the overall universe, and then we provide these grades. Now, if you're an analyst who is really focused on granular metrics, you're 1 click away from going to those granular metrics. And when you look over here, you could look at the specific metrics such as PE, price to book, price to sales, and this process repeats throughout our sections for growth, for profitability, for momentum, for sentiment. We'll look at the granular details, and when you look at the stock on a price to book basis, you can see it's A- relative to the group, but you could also look at the absolute ratio. You'll see the price to book ratio is 1.48 versus 2.41 for the rest of the sector. So we're basically taking all these metrics and we break them down in what's called a fractal analysis. So we're looking at every stock in the sector, and we're measuring each name compared to the other stocks for each of these specific financial metrics, and we offer a total grade.